Hey everyone, Tin Man here, back with some more Dota Underlords. Going to be playing some ranked standard mode here. I've been spending most of my day playing in the OGA Underlords tournament. That was a great experience. And that was just the opening round of it. It's kind of a double elimination format, so I'll still be playing games tomorrow and then also on Saturday as well. So I'll drop a link about the information down in the description below, so make sure you check that out. If you're watching this right at release, then you can come and watch me play tomorrow morning on Friday. So I think I've learned a lot about the new meta from playing with some of the best players in a handful of lobbies earlier today. So let's see if we can carry over some of that into this game. While this first round is playing out here, I want to give a little bit of shameless self-promotion. I do have channel membership enabled, so if you do like this kind of content, my gameplay, my video guides, like the Alliance guide that came out, please do consider joining the channel. It really does help support me to continue making content like this. And as a bonus, you also get early access to a lot of the guides that I make. So things like that Alliance guide, the item guide, and an upcoming meta analysis guide. You'll get all kinds of early access to that if you are a member of the channel. So one thing that I do learn is that Ogre Cap is definitely the best tier 1 item right now. This item is just so strong, and Bloodbound early games are incredibly powerful. I don't have any Bloodbounds right now, so it's obviously going to look a little bit weaker at this exact moment. But that being said, I do have some Savages, which is another really good option. And we also have a Beastmaster, who would be a great unit to hold this Ogre Cap once we do find a Bloodbound. We are up against a couple of Spirits here, not the full Spirit Alliance, obviously, since they do not have the Ember Spirit. And I think, well, I was going to say we should be okay against this, but they're really tanky. Earth Spirit has a ton of health total, even more than somebody tanky like Tusk or Magnus. That being said, Magnus is now hitting for twice as hard as he was before, thanks to the Savage stacks and his Empower, so it looks like we do manage to take this down in the end. Sweet, off to a 2-0 start. I can pick up this Nature's Prophet, although I'm not thrilled about trying to play it. It is a Druid, but I still think it's a little bit weak. We do find the 2-star Tusk, though, so I think with that in mind, it probably, and no Bloodbound to speak of, I do think it makes sense to pick up the Nature's Prophet here, put that in to give us the Druid Alliance. At least one of these will be 2-starred. I want to put the Magnus closer to the Tusk, such that his second cast of Empower will go onto the Tusk, because he'll go onto the nearest ally. And so hopefully Nature's Prophet's a little bit further away than those two. Should be the case since these are both melee. And we do get the 2-star Magnus. That's nice. Unfortunately, Nature's Prophet is going to take his sweet time to get his mana gain. He is very slow to gain that, but it doesn't even matter. He's never going to get a summon because our opponent's board just evaporates before that becomes an issue. Let's pick up... do I want to pick up the Ember Spirit? Or probably just Venomancer Batrider. I have not really been very impressed with Summoners. I don't think they're the greatest of Alliance to really build around. I like building around Savages, which just sometimes includes Summoners because you get Lycan and Lone Druid, but not really going after a dedicated Summoners build to the point where I'm even okay with selling off the Venomancer here to grab interest. Actually, we're on a win streak. Let's just level up. Oh, there's a Bloodbound, actually. Let's put that in. Yeah, that's perfect. Almost missed that. I think I want to level up just so I can continue my win streak by putting another unit in. Too busy talking about meta issues and not actually looking at the things right in front of me here. So this is definitely much better here now that we get the Ogre Cap online. Now this Tusk is, oh my goodness, plus 179. That is going to be big punches. Alright, off to a good early win streak here. Let's buy, I don't know, some Hunters, some Warriors maybe. Generally with this Ogre Cap, you like to go and just get a carry like Deadeye. We get another Ogre Cap? Oh my goodness, there we go. Alright. We don't even need to run sacrifice units, but we're going to because it's just so strong. Just want to run as many Bloodbound as we can get. Let's get some Bloodseekers if possible. And, you know, we can, with double Ogre Cap, we can kind of justify even going into Savages as well. I think 4 Savages is a good strategy just on its own, and we already have a reasonable start towards it. Or maybe towards Brawnies if we do find a Bristleback at some point, or some more Beastmasters. We do have our interest at 10. We'll pick up the Wind Ranger. I do have a bunch of Warriors, but I don't know if Warriors and Bloodbound really is the best combo. You really want like faster attackers, or just like some in some sense harder hitters than Warriors are. I think we might actually lose this one. The Lesser Treant's actually pretty tanky. This has a ton of health, and it's just a 1-star Chaos Knight, so I think we get this. Yeah, these guys are really hard to take down, actually. So despite losing our Bloodbounds pretty early on, our Nature's Prophet came up clutch. Alright, what do we see here? Nothing much. I think I'm okay to sell off Pudge no matter what. Even if I run Warriors, he's one of the lower value Warriors, I think. It doesn't really fit well with anything else. So I'm okay to ditch him here. And then we get up to 20 gold of interest, and then probably just level up in a turn or two to try to keep this win streak going. Up against somebody else, Jitch on Twitch here, who also has a Bloodbound based composition. They have just one Ogre Cap. Unfortunately, we do not get to win the duel, but we do win the fight. So not the worst thing. Looking around, let's see what we're up against. We see kind of 2 people looking at Knights of some sort. A couple people on Brawnies, so maybe Brawnies is not the play. Maybe Warriors is the play. I don't think it's really great here, but some kind of variant on Savages maybe. Savages, Druids, plus like a Tidehunter just for some CC. There's a Bristleback. That's pretty good. So I think what I want to do is throw in the Bristleback here. Maybe get rid of these Tinies. And then go like Bristleback, Beastmaster, and put this on the Bristle. There's also an Ogre Magi. Could also be good. Actually, Ogre Magi is probably better than like Beastmaster here. 2-star Luna. That's going to be a little scary. We can isolate her out, but we don't have that much damage until one of these Bloodbounds die. So Beastmaster, not quite going to cut it here. No, looks like our win streak has come to an end. Narrowly. Just narrowly there. Ah, well, we got up to maximum interest, so I'm hard pressed to say that was like, a bad series of events for us. We've got among the highest net worth. We actually have a really good pack here with Beastmaster and Tusk. So what I'm kind of looking at is like a Savage Brawny kind of thing. I don't know. Let's level. Let's throw in the Ogre Magi, and then we'll buy these guys post-combat and then use our reroll after interest is locked in. I honestly can probably get rid of this Nature's Prophet as well. I don't think we're going to go that way. I don't think we're going to go with too many Warriors, honestly, either. Probably not Slardar. Honestly, I'm not even thrilled about Hunters. I mean, Beastmaster maybe. Oh, got another loss here. Wasn't even really watching it, but yeah, I guess our lack of star levels is really starting to catch up to us. Just the 2-star Tusk. These items, not my favorite. I don't have any ranged units. I actually think Deadeye outside of on Bloodseeker is kind of detrimental. And Stonehold Pike is acceptable, although not insane, given our current state. There's an Ogre Magi 2-star. That is quite good. Free reroll here. We do find a Bloodseeker. I like him quite a bit more than I like Mr. Warlock. He actually has the potential to win fights and carry. Probably not looking at Snapfire. Maybe Lycan, because he gives me a 4th Savage, and 4 Savage is just such a big power spike, giving that Savage bonus to all of my units, including the Bloodseeker. He dies very quickly in this fight, but later on, once you get him to 2-star, maybe you get him a better item. He really can carry some of these fights, especially with double Ogre Caps. But right now, he's kind of just a sacrifice to power up these guys in the back here. Beastmaster actually got a lot of kill. Oh, and that's a dual damage. That's not a kill count. Alright, in terms of Underlord, I like Enno a lot. The Rabid Furball Enno is probably the pickup in this one, just for a little bit extra stun and CC. We already kind of have frontline with Ogre Magi and some other guys, and I don't really need Jull. If I had support Hobgen, the one that gives attack speed, maybe that would have been a good pick. But I did not have that option, so I could not pick it. I actually think I'm going to sell off these Wind Rangers here and just get up to 29 gold in the hope that we win the round to grab interest. I don't think that Wind Ranger was ever a serious consideration. Hunters could work, but that's not going to be till very late in the game, if anything, and by that point I hopefully would find Medusa and Mirana. So Wind Ranger would kind of just be the odd one out anyway. This one is actually coming together. This Warlock is refusing to die. Same with the Tusk. Racking up lots of kills. Will we be able to beat this Golem? No. Unfortunately not. Oh wow, I thought for sure we had that one. It was looking really good, but that Golem just did not go down. Yeah, the lack of a 2-star Bloodseeker is... Like, a 2-star Bloodseeker could have carried that fight. We find another one here, use our reroll, we find a 2-star Beastmaster. There's also a Necrophos in the pack, which completes 2 alliances along with the Warlock. I don't know if they're the alliances I care that much about. I would care a little bit more about getting Savages online, I think. While also keeping a lot of Bloodbounds in the build. So our opponent here has a Spirit build out running a lot of Spirits. The Void, Earth, double Storm Spirit. So they've got a lot of Spirits to cast the Delta Slam. They do get one off. It hits most of my units, but not the important ones. Not the Tusk, not the Beastmaster. So he's still going strong, and I think these ones are going to get to carry the fight here. And hopefully Beastmaster gets all the kills to rack up lots here at the end for the Stonehall Pike. I guess, honestly, I can probably swap the items here. Swap a... this Pike over to the Tusk. Cap over to the Ogre Magi. Now that Tusk already has lots of kills. Honestly, I just want Cap on everybody, though. If I'm being honest, I want an Ogre Cap on all of my units. There's a 2-star Bloodseeker. Good stuff. Legion Commander fits really well with the Bloodbound theme. It doesn't really fit with the Deadeye. And given the current state of my board, looking towards maybe like Savages, I just don't know if there's room for her, and it's also getting a little bit late to try to fit her in because she's going to be behind on the dual damage front. So I think I'm okay to pass on her and just look to empower this Bloodseeker. Yeah, here we see Bloodseeker just going crazy. That's what I was saying, a 2-star Bloodseeker can carry these fights. Eventually, hopefully, Bloodseeker can hold the Stonehall Pike. He already racked up 5 kills this round, and maybe even another 6. Yeah, he picks up 6. The difference between 1 and 2-star Bloodseeker is so insane. I think for this next round, I want to level up. And let's put in the Necrophos, I guess. Complete some alliances. I don't know if it's good alliances. If I had like a 2-star Lycan or Magnus, I'd put those in instead. We can pick up her Stool Circlet. I don't know if getting Demon actually is all that important. With I'm not running Legion Commander. Let's reroll. We can pick up an Octarine Essence, which is actually really good on Bristleback, which kind of lets me free up a lot of these things and like shuffle around items. So that Bristleback still has a good item, and we can still run the Tusk with the Ogre Cap, so we can do the punches that he used to be doing, but then the one that already has a bunch of kills can hold on to this Stonehall Pike for the moment. And then eventually, hopefully we get a 3-star Tusk, we can move the Pike over the Bloodseeker and just leave Tusk with the Cap, as with the Beastmaster. We do have 2 Savages already, so I guess we don't even need both of these if we do end up getting a Lone Druid. This is not going well. Man, this NSX Golem's messing us up. I think it's the same opponent we lost to a little bit earlier. That being said, we're still at 88 life, so most of our losses have been pretty narrow. So not time to panic just yet. think we can still make this work. There's a disruptor if we do want to get maybe more brownies, more CC, some control on there. Use our reroll, pick these two up. Oh, wait a second. I don't want to reroll. I could reroll a little bit here and try to find maybe a 2-star bristleback or something. But now I'm kind of starting to look at like things like Disruptor, maybe a Lone Druid if we're looking for 4 Savages. Or just like more expensive units for the most part. So I think I'd rather save a little bit to try to level up before moving on to re-rolling a lot. I think we can afford at least one more level up. And hopefully we can find a Bloodseeker, another 2-star Bloodseeker, because one of them is really good. A second one would be awesome as well. Beastmaster actually pulling down top DPS there. He hits pretty hard with the Ogre Cap as well, and his Wild Axes do a good job in the AoE department. So we found another Tusk. So now we're getting up there towards the 3-star Tusk, just 2 away. At which point the 3-star Tusk with an Ogre Cap would be real big. And then if we're really looking late game, if we don't end up with Savages, which like they're slow coming, I know we just got a Lycan. Savages are cool and all, but Disruptor into Axe is also really cool. To get 4 Brawnies. I don't have that many Brawny kills, but because most of the kills are at the Bloodseeker. So maybe not the most appealing thing, but just an idea to keep in the back of my mind if those units do come together. Or maybe just go like Lycan into Lone Druid. You know, maybe not Magnus. Assuming we can get a 2-star Lone Druid, then we'll just be happy with a 2-star Lone Druid. Plus Summoners. I'm pretty well spread out here, since most of our units are melee. They want to be spread, and we also want to have some of our Bloodbounds up front to hopefully die sooner rather than later. Let's just pump our gold into levels. I really don't think Necrophos is where we want to be. I could level here, and just cost myself 1 gold of interest. I'd probably just end up putting in a second Warlock. Or, yeah, second 1-star Warlock. Just to die and empower the rest of the Bloodbound, because that's what they are good at. Unfortunately, our Bloodseeker does go down, so that is problematic. But Beastmaster is still up and hitting hard. And then he's gone. Man, these Knights are really tough to punch through. They turn and kill this Bloodseeker real fast. This has been a problem for us a couple times now. This same Anesix Golem with the Knights in front of it. There's actually 2 people running a similar style of build. Both of them have been problematic for us. In any case, we're going to level up for this turn. Probably just going to add in that Mr. Warlock like we said. Oops, I just swapped the 2. And now that we're level 8, we have a chance of picking up a tier 5 unit. But we also pick up a Vladimir's Offering. This item is just amazing. I don't know who it goes on. Does it actually go on Lifestealer? He's going to be jumping around like crazy, making him hard to like pin down, but maybe. We also see a pair of Maranas here. The Hunter idea is not completely out the window. If Savages don't really work, you know, if these more Savages don't come together, Mirana into Medusa would be good. Actually, that could work with both. You know, that could... Like, we can consolidate the Warlocks. We can hopefully get a 3-star Tusk, and then still have room for Mirana, Medusa, and Savages. Then probably don't have room for the Disruptor, though. Let's pick up the pair of Miranas after interest locks in. And use a reroll on nothing there. Bloodseeker just barely died there. Not get another heal off. And it looks like we're going to take another loss. Another small loss. Not overly concerned. We are at level 8, which is the highest level in the game. Except for 1437, but we have more life total, and I think we have higher net worth than them. Yeah, we do. We actually have the highest net worth out of anybody. So, still in reasonable shape. Although dropping to sub 70 means we're tied for second place in terms of life total. And I think we got a lot of good options. Hopefully one of them can come together. There's a Marana. Sweet. Let's put in Marana over one of the Warlocks. Give the Marana a cap. And then put the Vlads on Tusk, actually. That seems a little bit better. Because Tusk is going to be a little bit more central in these fights for the most part. I just solve that extra Warlock just to grab interest for sure. Honestly, I'm kind of okay just running a 1-star Warlock as a guy to sacrifice. Pick up a second Disruptor, use the reroll, nothing there. Opponent's Delta Slam actually hits really well against us, but it does not hit the Bloodseeker, and that is the important one. Does not hit the Marana either, and she is going to be ramping up pretty hard. 1 or 2 autos should kill this Storm Spirit. Yep. And that is that. Alright. I'm not a big fan of this board in particular. It's too bright for me. I don't know. It's kind of a shock going from this board back to mine. It's just like... I don't know. I don't like that one. Alright, so I could level up. It would cost me 35 here. But considering I'm 1 away from 3-star Tusk, let's just reroll for it. There's the Lone Druid, which I think I would play instead of Magnus, if anything. Because I just don't know if Druids is all that relevant at this point. I think I'd rather get Summoners to power up the bear. And Lycan is just a better unit than Magnus, just by his own merits. A 2-star Lycan can actually carry fights as well. Doesn't rely on empowering others or rely on getting up to 3-star really to be a powerful force. Fortunately, this one's not quite going to go well. That stun from the bear just got me. That's why Lone Druid is so powerful. I will pick up this Mr. Warlock just in case and hope and pray for a 2-star Bristleback. If I do get a 3-star Tusk, he probably wants to hold Pike, right? Then Vlad's could go on a Disruptor or a Lone Druid, whichever one I get. Yeah, there's the Lycan. There's the Tusk. Boom. Okay. Now we're in business. I kind of just want to level up here. Put in the Lone Druid. And then actually do this swap. So now we've got 4 Savages, which is pretty good. Things like Marana's going to ramp up with that well. Bloodseeker in particular. Every auto is going to give him bonus attack damage, and he's obviously attacking very fast because he's a Bloodseeker. Unfortunately, he dies very quickly to that Delta Slam, messing him up. But the rest of our board, looking pretty darn good. Mess up that Delta Slam. Will it be good enough? No, they just constantly go untargetable, and Tusk cannot punch them to death while they are disappearing in and out. That is, those spirits, so elusive. Same with Eno. Alright, that was a little rough. What do we do about that? We're still kind of looking for another hunter, right? The Medusa at some point. And if we can pick up Caden's Blade, that would be insane with the Medusa, but I don't know if that's actually that good against the rest of their board, or the rest of our opponents. Let's reroll. Oh, we found a Crown of Antlers. We don't even need another hunter. Boom, we just get one. Put that on Bloodseeker, and we just now have a hunting Bloodseeker. Now he's got a 30% chance to do 2 attacks. That was insane. Use a free reroll here. Don't find anything. I'm just going to reroll a bit more here. Boom, we find a Disruptor. I think I throw that in over a Mr. Warlock. I think I lose the Warlock, or instead of over the Ogre Magi actually, to get the Warlock Alliance. I don't know how relevant that really is. I just like the Disruptor effect. The Static Storm is really impactful. Just gives guys like Bloodseeker and everybody else just time to do their thing without being worried about being stunned or being hit by abilities. So this was a good turnaround here. I think since we found the 2-star Disruptor, do I try to save to level up again? Somebody just finally got eliminated in 8th place on round 22. That's pretty late. Hey, we even just naturally find the Bristleback. There we go. I think I do keep in the Mr. Warlock just for the Warlock Alliance, and he kind of dies a little bit easier than the Ogre. And if my main goal with him is to have him die quickly, then I don't necessarily need to keep him. I don't necessarily need to use that Ogre Magi to do that. Give another Bloodseeker here. I do think we want another level up. We got enough life total to do it, I think. Wait, if we can wait another couple turns here. We're pretty strong. That Crown of Hunters was like top notch. I'm just thinking about how we got 2 hunters and like how do we fit in a hunter, and then just, you know, like the game heard me and they delivered. So that was very nice of the game to be so considerate. Mirana, top DPS with that Ogre Cap on. Yeah, still makes sense to have Tusk have the Stonehall Pike because he's got more kills than anybody else. I think it still makes sense to have Beastmaster with the Ogre Cap though. Alrighty. If I do level up, what would I want to put in? Because I'm probably going to get to that point. I'm probably going to survive another 2 or 3 rounds, at least. Probably more. Well, I'd want to get a 2-star Lone Druid. But that's not a new unit. New unit would either be a Warlock for a sacrifice, an Ogre for a semi-sacrifice / frontline, or a Bloodseeker for another chance at a carry unit. I don't know which one's right. They all have different appeals. Ooh. We might go down a little bit faster than I'd hoped. This is not looking too great here. Beastmaster does survive for a little while, so maybe we don't take too terribly much here. Yeah, we take a good chunk. How much is that? 13? 12. Okay. 40 gold away. And in theory I could like solve this Ogre if I choose one of the other ones. Just use our free reroll. Nothing much there. Necrophos gives me healers, that's not important. I think one of those other options is better. I think their Brawny could also work. We find an Axe. That doesn't even add that much health, but Axe is just a good unit. And we'll find out. See if we can get a win to buy ourselves a little bit more time. So far this is looking pretty good. That was a 1-star Tidehunter, did not do that much. Bristleback is dealing lots of AoE. Unfortunately, my Bloodseeker did go down. He is not quite as tanky as he needs to be at this point, but that's alright because Tusk is, and he just Walrus punched for like 1,500 or something like that, 1,300. Pretty good. Does eventually die to the spiders, but we do take the win. Get another turn to rack up some gold. And hopefully we can find something good in the next round or two here. These items, Mechanism can work. I'm not like ecstatic about it. Let's reroll. What do we got? A moon shard? I am ecstatic about a moon shard. I think moon shard's a really good item. Yeah, that item is great. That probably adds more to the Bloodseeker than the Crown. And then I can move Crown onto Lycan and move Vlad's to the Lone Druid. Now Lycan is, you know, actually a hunter like he used to be. And Lone Druid's going to be still roughly centrally located. I guess he's a little bit squishy. Hopefully he doesn't die very quickly. He's up against mages. He's probably going to die pretty quickly. Yeah, Vlad's Offering is kind of not that important against mages anyway. Does look like... Oh, no. Bloodseeker did not get that last heal off, so we do take a pretty big hit here. What's it waiting for? 14. Bloodseeker almost got another heal, which could have snowballed back in our favor, but did not happen. Alright, this next turn we're going to level up. It'll cost us like basically all of our gold. But I think I just throw an Ogre Magi with that. Put him on this position to... or probably over here to buff up the Tusk. Nothing there on that free reroll. Actually, Treant. Nah, I think I'd want a Bloodbound. Treant would give me Druids. But, at this point, Lone Druid's here just kind of for the Savage Alliance. No Refresher Orb or any really good item for the Disruptor or the... I was really hoping for like a Refresher Orb in that last turn. Moonshard's fine, don't get me wrong, but I think this build is lacking like CC and control on our opponents. We're not really lacking for damage. We just need to be able to, you know, get to the point when we're, you know, doing our thing, and I don't know if Moonshard really helped us in that regard as much as something like a Refresher Orb or some way to lock down our opponents a little bit better would have been. Like here we saw like our Bloodseeker just was not as impactful as he could have been. These Knights were so good against him. Rerolls. What do we find? Nothing. Well, there's an axe if we really wanted it, but I think kind of think the Bloodbound is maybe a touch better for us. Maybe this Vlad should be on Disruptor. Should probably be on Disruptor. Mages again. I feel like we're going back to back the mages, and then who else is even out there? I think the mages and knights is all we've been playing against recently. We do get a pretty good Disruptor ult, but it's right after they get a Delta Slam off, so not ideal. Bloodseeker stayed alive though. This is good. Bloodseeker's still up. That's all we need. If he can stay up, we can win this fight. Not by much, but we can win it. Plus 716 damage. Looking good. Seeing this other board, does 1437 get eliminated? Yes. Drops out to this other 4 Savage comp that also has Warriors and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 9 alliances active. That's not too shabby. Come on, Lone Druids. I guess I could even replace Lone Druid with a Sand King here, since Lone Druid's not really getting the job done. And it has the upside of providing some good CC, especially against these guys in this direction that we've... I guess the Knights got eliminated, but you put him on the side and he goes like in a straight line shot, and hopefully this just disrupts everybody on their board. As opposed to the relatively fragile Lone Druid and his bear, which just was not quite doing what I needed him to be doing. Bloodseeker stays up for, it's basically healed to full, and it looks like if Bloodseeker can survive the initial Delta Slams, we are good to go. Their Anno does get its ult off, and then Tusk one-shots him. One-shots him with a Walrus Punch, nice. That being said, our life total is not a lot. And I'm still a little nervous about trying to get first place in this game. Looks like it'll be tough. Bloodthorn probably helps quite a bit, though. That is great. Where do I put the Bloodthorn? Who would hold a Bloodthorn the best? Would it just be Sand King? I'm trying to think of somebody who could get more than one cast off. Maybe Sand King. I'll upgrade the Warlock. Move this Disruptor to be a little bit more centrally located.
Each death will spur me forward.
Right into the target, buddy. Exactly as we wanted. It was not exactly as we wanted. But he did get his ult off in pretty good time to disrupt the Tide Hunter. Bloodseeker. Just follow the Bloodseeker. How Bloodseeker goes is how this fight goes. If he survives, we win. If he doesn't survive, we lose. He survived for a pretty long time, so I think we can win this. Mirana still going strong. She's hitting pretty... plus 700 damage. Yeah, that looks pretty strong. Take another narrow win. You know, we're not knocking people out for 20. So, still a little nervous here. How does this board go? They won. Darn it. Spirits. Spirits are looking good. They're being a bit problematic. I don't think we have the gold to really pursue a 3-star Lycan or a Beastmaster. I think the best we can pursue here is a 2-star Sand King. It's really the only feasible option at this point. 3-star Void Spirit. Yo. I want to look at how these fights line up. Oh my god, that's so many spirits. Not looking forward to facing that. Yeah, we don't face the spirits just yet. Face the Ghost of the Warriors. Disruptor does get his ult off in a perfect timing here before the Tide goes off. Before the Tide comes in. But unfortunately, our Bloodseeker did not go the way he needed to go. It looks like we are unfortunately going to drop a little bit low here, and by low I mean 0. Darn it. Yeah, that did not work out as well as I would have liked. I get a little bit of rewards though. Gained a little bit of MMR. I really thought with double Ogre Cap right off the bat that we'd be in great shape to get first place. Oh, if I had just survived a few more seconds, we could have got second at least. I don't know who won that. Oh, I guess that Warrior Comp did win. Did beat up on the Spirits because they're the only ones that show their units still around. So, yeah, we were playing the Bloodbound build, which I thought is really strong, especially if you get the Ogre Caps like we did. But 4 Savages and like CC is really good kind of counter, because if the fights go the way Bloodseeker goes, if you can hit him with a Tide Ult, or you can hit him with you know, the Scythe of Eyes or Walrus Punch or something to lock down that Bloodseeker, you saw like we just couldn't really compete against that Warrior with all the CCs. But otherwise, pretty good build. Maybe combining it with Savages, not necessarily the best idea. I think 4 Savages in its own right is a great comp, and I think Bloodbounds with Bloodseekers is a great comp. Not entirely convinced they need to be combined. Although it is pretty cool when it does work out that way. In any case, thanks so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it, and I will see you next time.